Wow.
since the last time.
Since the last, well, probably not, yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
been a long time.
Yeah.
So, Doug, how has the last weird couple years been treating you? Had you been writing any?
Yeah, that's always there. There's kind of my package of writing and performing and teaching that somehow, in some way, almost makes me a living.
We are here to perform, and if you want to teach us, there are vast gaps in our knowledge base. So feel free.
Yeah.
But mainly we're here to enjoy your fine music. So what do you have for us first?
Well, okay. Can I start with the sad one?
Sure.
I figure
wait,
get
wait.
it out of the way.
We need to take a vote. Okay.
Pass me the bourbon.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
yes.
Well, there you go. That way we can get on to the frivolity after that.
I'm here for the frivolity.
Yep.
I know. So we get the sad one done and out of the way. And it is my newest one. I wrote it Wednesday, recorded it, and posted it last night. It is, I do the Monday morning 3 a.m. songwriter group, which we can talk about more later. And it was it's the first round, and this is the new whatever, the first round of the first round. And yeah, it just had to be. This song had to be written, and we can talk about it if you want to. It's called Pink Roses. It's a cold and windy Monday morning. I slowly drag myself out of bed. Check my phone to see what's going on. And I find out I lost a beautiful friend. I get my robe and pour my first cup of coffee, and I think how the day will begin. But I can't get it out of my heart or my head that I've lost a beautiful friend, a beautiful friend. She knew everyone, and everyone knew her. Generosity and kindness were well known. She lived a life so large and loved with all her heart. Bright lights are missed most dearly when they're gone. My heart is broken and my cupboard is bare. I go get groceries, needing time to mend. But the only thing in my cart at the checkout, pink roses for my beautiful friend, my beautiful friend.
Doug Baker, I think more poignant than sad.
It is poignant.
Those very beautiful things in there.
It is all very true. I was got up Monday morning, and I should say that the prompt for the group was to use a day of the week, somehow in the song, a title or whatever. So there it was. I got up Monday morning, and I looked at my phone, and a wonderful friend of mine, 34 years old, had died of, 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 34 cervical or ovarian cancer. I
Ouch.
can't remember which one it was. We knew it was coming. She had posted, her last post was that about 3 weeks ago, was that she had gone off chemo because the doctor said she would never be well. All they were doing was keeping it at bay, and that would be what would happen for a while. And she was too miserable with that, decided let's just cut her losses. And very unique person. Her last name was Rose, and when I first met her, she had pink hair. And I literally did buy some pink roses to give to Rosser to help with the grief and all that. So
It's that Monday morning songwriters group that you're part of. You've been really productive with that since it's in
right
outset.
I did. They do like 10-week rounds, and I did one, and then I laid out of one because I asked Doug Davis, who was the leader of it. I said, "Do we take a couple weeks break and then start up?" They go, "Oh no, we go right into it." And I just kind of needed the break, and which is probably what I may do then. But then at the first of the year here, the holidays get me so out of my regular thing. I have to get real left brain thinking about balancing budgets with all the Christmas madness and all that, and then trying to get my business, my teaching business, going at the first of the year, and all that. So I get very much out of the frame of mind where I can write. And even when I'm saying, okay, I'm ready to write. What am I going to write about? So I don't want to write the prompts or whatever all the time, but it's give me one. Yeah, I haven't written anything. Well, give me a prompt, and I'll come up with. Well, I'll see what comes up.
Your songwriting seems to be on point, though, and we would love to hear some more. You got another one?
Oh, sure.
You've always got a bonanza of songs.
This one. I mean, yes, and I was sitting as Lee and I were chatting online today. I was putting together not a set list per se, but a list of songs that I know I didn't do last time I was here, and sorry, that's probably about as good as it's going to get. This is a very happy one. It's called "Around Her." Rosser, I hope you're listening. Was it destiny or just dumb luck? When I first met her, I was feeling stuck. She pulled my heart right out of the muck. I'm heading up to see her in a little while, just up the road, little over a mile. I got no plans, just want to see her smile. I celebrate the day I found her. I love everything about her. I just want to be around her. I celebrate the day I found her. I love everything about her. I just want to be around her. Well, she melts in the summer and she loves the fall. Loves her cats and SEC football. Somewhere in there, I get the call. She gives me a stare when I do something wrong. Drying her hair takes too damn long. She doesn't mind when I put her in a song. I celebrate the way I found her. I love everything about her. I just want to be around her. I celebrate the day I found her. I love everything about her. I just want to be around her. Guess I did something right for her to come into my life. Her cooking so good, it's just not fair. Hard to predict the color of her hair. Wherever she is, you know I'm gonna be there to celebrate the day I found her. I love everything about her. I just wanna be around her. Celebrate the day I found her. I love everything about her. I just want to be around her.
Doug Baker.
There you go.
Doug, that was an interesting thing you did sort of 3/4 of the way through that song where you moved away from the strumming
Yeah.
to the little. So does that happen often in your songs where you get in there and think, oh, I'm going to do something different? Or
I get where, because except for the little bridge there, it is the same three chords in the truth all the way through, and I figured I need to do something. There's got to be a little mix it up thing.
So as you're going through this interesting songwriter process, and you have sort of the first version, if you will, roughed out, what do you do then? You kind of sit back and kind of listen to it, and
Yeah, I kind of live with it a day or so, and kind of I need to do something. Yeah, things pop up. I used to be it's sort of the NRBQ mode. What they do is that whatever they write, there's no editing. They don't edit songs at all. You know, it's just what the first write is. That's it. So, and I did that for a long time, and there's a bunch of crappy songs to prove it. But I sit with them and let them stew and kind of say, "Is this right? Is this right?" You know, I mean, like the other song, to play a song that's not even 48 hours old yet, I'm kind of going, but I put it out there, and I wanted to be out there for people who were mourning my friend. But I generally sit with them a while, change some words here and there. That's not singing good. Let's come up with something else. Or someone suggests to me, "Why don't you do this?" Because I play them at circles or rounds and all that. But in that case, I said I need a little riff or something. So I came up with.
it was kind of cool. Yeah, I liked it.
I agree, because it didn't break up, but it took us to it like a detour in the song.
Yeah.
And then took us out. So when you teach songwriting, do you teach songwriting the same to kids that you give the same adult advice?
Well, I am not teaching songwriting right now. I'm working on something. I'm working on some projects with the High Point Arts Council that will result in some things like that. And I've talked to students about them learning songwriting, but haven't really gotten down to it too deep yet. But I would say that there's a thing about I would use that a teacher of mine said, a wonderful theory professor I had 50 years ago, or not quite 50 years ago at UNCG, talked about when there is a bridge, so to speak, when the music changes, or like in a symphony, when there's like a B section or a little extra little thing, it's like when you're eating a fine Italian meal and you stop and you have a sip of the wine and you kind of swish it around and it cleanses your palate, and then you go back to the pasta and it's all new again. Mm-hmm. So when you throw in a little bridge, throw in a little thing, and then you come back to the original thought, the three chords in the truth or whatever, it's, oh, there's that again. So it keeps it fresh.
Then we are ready for our serving of pasta. Will you play us another song?
I hope I have enough. Well, I've got plenty of.
Bob, I'm so glad he didn't spit that wine out. When they do these wine tastings,
Isn't that gross?
Yeah,
I know.
Can I
What a
spit
waste.
the bourbon out?
No.
No, that's,
You notice
that's
they
how
don't-
Bob
If
gets
that's good
mad.
bourbon, I
They
shouldn't
don't
be
do
spit
that
out.
at bourbon tastings. At bourbon tastings, well, actually, some people
You
do
just
spit it out.
stumble around.
I'm just going to go in the kind of order that I put these songs in when I was kind of putting this together, and we'll but if I get inspired, so I should do that one. All right. The hardest working capo in show business. This one, the origin of this one was from a little online songwriting class that I did with a woman named Andrea Stolp, who teaches songwriting at Berkeley. And she does online songwriting at Berkeley, and she lives in LA and does all kinds of workshops and stuff like that. And they're very expensive, but Disc Makers, I think, was sponsoring this one, so it was a freebie. And she put, okay, I'm gonna give you guys a prompt. She put us in a little 3-person teams, and said, here's what you have to come up with, and it's you can do this, and then one of them was an old man at a coffee shop. And I'm going, okay, personal experience. Here I go, because it was a young woman from Colorado and some guy who didn't want to be seen from Georgia or something. I don't know. We came up with a scenario where a guy's sitting at the old man sitting at a coffee shop. He's seeing that things are changing, and does he like it? Does he not like it? I don't know. And so that's all we did. We didn't write a song. We just said, well, here's how we would approach this. And that was it. That was all we did. And so I told the two people, I said, guys, I'm going to take this and run with it. So, and it came out pretty good. And somebody, was it Bird? I think Jonathan Bird suggested that I personalize it a little bit. So that it just doesn't mean be a coffee shop. What coffee shop is it? So I just kind of came up out of the air, Rosie's Coffee Shop. And as fate would have it, when my family, when we were traveling in Oregon this past fall for a wedding, we ran across a Rosie's Coffee Shop.
How about that?
Unfortunately, they did not have T-shirts. I wanted T-shirts. Yeah, but anyway, so this is called Rosie's Coffee Shop. I'm sitting in Rosie's Coffee Shop in this tourist town that... Wait a minute, hold on, sorry, okay, that's not quite said it right, sorry. I'm sitting in Rosie's Coffee Shop in this tourist town that I've called home for years. I see the Blue Ridge Mountains at the edge of town as the morning fog clears. The new buildings keep appearing as my little town begins to thrive. And I wonder if the things that brought me here are going to survive. Things change and folks complain, missing things from long ago. And I'm just sitting here with a decent cup of joe. Cliff and Rosie off in this coffee shop. When Rosie's folks gave up the dry goods store. It's been a good run, but Cliff don't see too good, and Rosie's knees get sore. They were offered a lot of cash by folks who want another trendy joint. Cliff wanted to wait one more year, but Rosie said, honey, what's the point? Things change and folks complain, missing things from long ago. and I'm just sitting here with a decent cup of joe. It's time I left this coffee shop and went about my day. I've come here a few days a week since '77. It was Independence Day. A decent cup of coffee matters, especially with a good slice of pie. Cliff and Rosie will be gone soon enough, and so will I. Things change and folks complain, missing things from long ago. And I'm just sitting here with a decent cup of joe. And I'm just sitting here with a decent cup of joe.
Doug Baker live here in the studio. If you want to learn more, and you do want to learn more, DougBakerMusic.com or at Doug Baker Music on Facebook. Doug, I think the first song you played, you said you played from a prompt, a songwriter prompt. Mm-hmm. And then the very next song you said, I didn't want to write all my songs from a prompt. How is your songwriting different when you get a prompt versus not getting a prompt?
Good question.
Or what does getting the prompt do for you that's different?
Well, it leads me thinking, leads me down a road, you know. And what I tend to do when I get a prompt is that I'll journal on it. I'll just kind of do stream of consciousness journaling, which Leah will say we all learned from Joe Newberry. You know, just kind of write about it for 2 or 3 pages and see if something kind of pops up. Like I said, in that particular case with that song, it was pretty obvious.
So the prompt is sort of a directional sign pointing you in a direction. Whether if you're ready to take some direction, you can go that way, and it can kind of silence all the other voices and let you focus on something.
I'll tell you a really good example of that, which is not me. Sam Fraser, friend of the show, as they say.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
I don't think it was this group. He was in a lot of people have come and gone out of the group. He might have been in this group, but he was in a group that and the prompt was string. And it was driving him crazy. He couldn't think of anything. He was on the phone with his sister. He said, they want me to write a song about string. And she goes, don't you remember Granddad used to had one of those big balls of string that he collected like over the years?
Now that you mention it, I remember Sam telling us this story when he was here in the studio.
Yeah. And so there you go. You know, but generally if it's, you know, if nothing immediately flashes to me, I will sit and just stream of consciousness write and try to find something that's triggered by that. And, you know, even if it's just a matter of just saying, you know, like you know, this one was actually a pretty easy prompt because you could fit a day of the weekend in all kinds of ways.
Oh, sure.
Into a song. That's easy, you know.
So you would recommend if you're stumped for any reason or just being stubborn and not writing a song.
Yeah.
Prompts.
Yeah. I mean, and there are things online that will give you a prompt. You know.
That is true.
Yeah.
There are countless websites out there if you're stuck that you can get, and you can pick poetry, prompts, song prompts. There, you can do something with all of them.
Yeah, and there's if Brian Eno once upon a time did a thing called Obscure Strategies, and it was a deck of cards, and it was something to do if you're stuck in any kind of creative process. It was something to do. It could be something like go for a walk. It could be do everything you've done in the last 24 hours backwards, or or it could be make it more yellow, or
anything to shake up your creativity.
Anything, yeah. And I can't say I've had a successful going to, and there is a website where somebody took all those, put them in, and says click for a new one.
Yep.
And I'll check on that every now and then. Nothing has worked from that yet, but I feel at some point it will. But there's all kinds of things where you can get a prompt. There's the old thing of get the book next to you and turn to page 147, the second paragraph, and whatever's there.
I always have a hard time with that because I read everything on a Kindle and I don't know where page 147 is.
Well, there you go. That's why we still need books.
We need more Doug Baker songs is what we need.
Good call.
I just give you guys an opening and you just go for it. All right. I think I need a pick for this one.
He has a pic. If you're looking on Facebook, if you can see that, you have to hold it up because your stand is covering it.
I think that's called a pickpocket.
That's a pic.
Of course it is.
This.
Yes. That's adorable.
My lovely girlfriend Rasha made this for me.
Thank
were
you,
two.
Rasha.
The other one, I don't know what happened to it. And it's picks and capos and tuners and all that kind of stuff. All right. And I think I'm going to capo. Of course I'm going to capo. I was deciding that the key I've been doing this in might be a little bit too low, so I went up 2, and we'll see. This one's called Maybe I Need a Band. I've been feeling kind of lost and maybe a little bored, like there's a part of me that's been forgotten or ignored. Maybe I need to belong to something. Maybe I need to take a stand. Maybe I need a hobby. Maybe I need a band. Well, I'll pull out my Telecaster or find a keyboard I can plunk, a bass to bring the low end, and a drummer to bring the funk. We'll get together once or twice a week and make a noise so grand. There's a whole lot could go wrong, but maybe it'll be a band. I did it for so many years, you'd think I had more sense. But short of falling in love, there's nothing more intense as when you count it in and you start to feel the groove. Your spirit starts to rise and the earth begins to move. Take it, big man. Now I'm up here by myself and it doesn't feel quite right. It would probably drive me crazy to do it this way every night. Maybe I need to give it up, or maybe I just need a hand. Maybe I need my head examined, or maybe I need a band. I need a band. I still haven't come up with how to end that one.
Right.
I don't know, but I was
everybody-
seeing the video in my head.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's Doug Baker, and we are WHUP LP Hillsboro, and we have turned the top of the hour, Bob, which is an exciting time for us every Friday.
That is an exciting time because that means we've entered our second hour, and support for this second hour of Past the Hat is sweetly provided by Matthews Chocolates, 104 North Churton Street, Hillsboro, North Carolina, the finest in chocolate and chocolate accessories for all of your chocolate needs. And Doug's going to hold up his
You're a
chocolate.
spokesmodel
Oh,
now.
my chocolate. Oh,
Every guest on Past the Hat gets custom-made chocolate from Matthews, so that's really probably the only reason half of our guests ever even come
We're
on the
okay
show.
with that. We're not mad about it.
well, and I told Rosser about that, and she goes, "Don't eat it all there.
Well,
You better bring this back.
you can. It's a small box.
It's a small box. I know."
But y'all get down to Matthews Chocolates, buy all of the
Yes.
chocolate. I was just in there today picking up, obviously, some chocolate and loads of stuff in the cases. All kinds of various clusters and barks and all kinds of wonderful stuff. But, Valentine's Day is coming up. You do not want to walk into Matthews on February 13th and try and buy some chocolate. You will leave disappointed. Place your orders now. Go in and buy stuff now because now is the time.
And he's working on some new hot chocolate mixes.
That's right. He
So
makes
this
the
is
best
exciting.
cocoa mixes
Yeah.
anywhere.
So stay tuned, yes, or order early, where it will be hard to get stuff.
All right, we have paid the bills.
Yep.
And now we can talk about Doug Baker's band.
Yeah. Tell us, I know that you play with others, but do you have a band that you can rely on every week?
I haven't, but I'm working on it.
Okay.
Because, a year ago, coming up on when I did my CD release concert, which Leah appeared at, I put a band together. And I know I'm hitting microphones, I know. It was like, I had not heard these songs with a band. I mean, yes, I recorded them and I did all the parts, basically. But it said, ooh, dang, this sounds good.
It's kind of exciting, isn't it, when you take the music you wrote?
So I've been thinking about it for a while. And then coming into this year, I was like, as far as gigging, I mean, I've been trying to get a few places where I can do my solo thing. And I'm just thinking, well, maybe I could get a few more gigs if I had other formats. I've got a duo with Mark Dillon that I do very infrequently. As a matter of fact, our only 2 gigs last year was where I showed up for his gig one time, and then he showed up for my gig, and the second set was us together.
Nice.
He's going to be involved in it, and I've got a bass player, Danny Bayer from Grand Ole Uproar. So right now it's just a trio. Danny is really pushing for a drummer. I guess bass players want a drummer to lock in with, but we'll see what happens with that.
All right, so if you're a drummer, listen to this next song by Doug Baker, and then reach out to see if I can be the drummer on that song. Can you play us another one, Doug?
Even though this is the least drummer requiring song I probably will do tonight.
It's okay. We have creative drummers out there. Listen closely.
This is called Love is Hard. That's what she said. Love is beautiful. Love is hard. It comes out of nowhere. It catches you off guard. And once you let it in, you'll wonder where it's been. Love is beautiful. Love is hard. Love is difficult. Love is sweet. It lifts you up and knocks you off your feet. And when love is finally found, it'll turn your life around. Love is difficult. Love is sweet. Everything I hear and that I read, I still know love is all we need. Despite everything I hear and that I read, I know love is all we need. What is it? And I know that this is true because I know I love you. Love is forever. Love is strange. Everything in your head gets rearranged. And once you accept it, you'll never regret it. Love is forever. Love is strange. Love is difficult. Love is sweet. Love is beautiful. Love is hard. Thanks. I think I need to tune up a little bit.
Where can people see you live and in person?
That's a good question.
All
I'm trying to
over
think
the
what
place.
The next thing is. Do I have anything in February? I don't think I have anything in February. Hold on a second.
According to your website,
Tell me.
no.
No. Yeah. March at Brown Truck. Is that? what
Yes,
saying?
you're
Yes.
good at this.
Brown Truck Brewery in High Point. Great little place. It's kind of funny. I grew up in High Point and haven't given it much thought in a lot of years, but it is becoming one of my better towns to play in. Brown Truck, I played there a time or two, and then they said they want me back like every other month through this year. So I mean,
Nice.
to go into the year with 6, actually 7, because they're doubling me up for Christmas. Gigs booked is like, oh my gosh, and I'm working on the first thing for the band will probably be in May at a place called Craft City Sip-In Greensboro. But that's the only things I can think of right now. I should probably at this point talk about songwriters at SCUP.
I was about to say, because you do other things other than what you just mentioned, and
Right.
Scuppernong is one of those
Yes.
things.
So, I mean, this was one of those things that I started to. I almost started this up a few months or even a year before I actually did it. And I said, you know what, this has to be done, but it doesn't need to be me doing it. And then it occurred to me, yes, I need to do it.
Yeah, but why not?
And it's like after the pandemic, or as the pandemic started lessening, things start coming back. Some things didn't. One of them was a wonderful series that was done at Triad Stage in Greensboro, a songwriter rounds on Sunday afternoon. Barry Gray and Peg Parham put it on. And I think I played the last one in February.
Is that the one? I don't think I ever went, but it was upstairs in one of the
upstairs,
classic old
yeah.
buildings downtown.
That's a great room.
Yeah.
It's a great room. And Kurt did it once. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
With Dean Driver, I guess.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
And bless his heart, Mike Gaffney. Yeah.
Yep.
Ah,
That's
yes.
right.
Bless
That
his
had to
heart.
be a great show.
You know, I had a great compliment. I played. I might have been the first song I played, the Pink Roses song. I played it for some other songwriters at Doodad Farm last night, and somebody said, "That sounds like a Mike Gaffney song." And I went,
That's a compliment.
That's
Yeah,
good
that's a
stuff.
good compliment.
that was high praise. But so I on second Sundays, I host and do sound because those are kind of synonymous when you do this kind of thing. A songwriter round, 3-person songwriter round at Scuppernong Books on Melm Street in Greensboro. The next one, I believe, is at February 12th. Will be a young lady named Carmen Bliss, Emmanuel Winter, who is making quite a name for himself. He's Charlotte-based, but he's a violinist.
Cool.
I mean, he'll be playing guitar when he does this, but he's a violinist and fronts a band and stuff like that. But he does some solo gigs, and I mean, it's like there's 2 young bucks there, and then I've got Jim Ritchie, who is one of those Greensboro institution kind of guys. If Jim Ritchie did nothing else, he got a song placed on a little album called The Gambler.
Nice.
Yeah, whatever it is, 45 years ago or whatever. So
And then he retired.
So I know he does, but he does computer repair. But he started playing out again after not having done so for a long time. He had some tragedy in his family and stuff like that, and just didn't for a while. And he's back out and doing it. I'm just excited to have him doing it. The one we did like a week ago was the piano guys, Jack Gorham, Tim Smith, and William Neesmith. And it was the most successful one we've had yet in terms of people there and money in the tip jar and all that.
I heard some feedback from those guys after the show, and they said they had the best time.
It was magical. I mean, I've seen them like play at Bynum before and stuff like that. I know they've done that several times, but there was just something going on, and it was magnificent. It was magic.
Well, Doug, we've talked enough, and we need to make something go on in the studio now. So
Okay.
it's on you, man.
It's on me. All right. This one's called Ain't All That Bad. Let's see. Mowing for the last time of the year. Maybe the last time ever. It's time I called some kid about taking it over. That time could be used better for more important things, like maybe reading poetry or grilling up some wings. Growing old ain't all that bad. Not feeling sorry for myself, no, I'm not feeling sad. I look at what I got and not at what I had. Growing old ain't all that bad. Old friends keep complaining about everything that's new. They complain about the weather, they complain about the music, and how they can't do what they used to do. I know everything changes, I know nothing stays the same. When I came to understand that, the wiser I became. Growing old ain't all that bad. Not feeling sorry for myself, no, I'm not feeling sad. I look at what I've got and not at what I had. Growing old ain't all that bad. Some folks think I'm pretty clever. Some might even say cunning. If I don't want to work the way I used to, they might say I'm punning. Rethinking my priorities. There's so much more I can explore. Gonna do the things I love until I can't no more. Growing old ain't all that bad. Not feeling sorry for myself, no, I'm not feeling sad. I look at what I got and not at what I had. Growing old ain't all that bad.
Doug Baker. Doug, notice that you have a partial capo on. Are you in? Were you in standard tuning on that song? So tell us about the partial capo.
Well, it's
It's magic.
It's magic. I mean, it's another Joe Newberry thing. It's one of the, when he showed it to me at a class thing I did with him and John Shane. It was like bang! Why did I? Because there's a thing called drop D that we all do at some point where we just take our D string down, our E string down to D, and that opens up some different voicings and things like that. And but if you do it at the second fret, but leave the sixth string open, it becomes a drop E. So I mean, and
Sounded great.
I've probably got like 4 songs that do that.
So would you just put that back on, if you would, please?
Put it back on.
And then just strum open.
Yeah, I mean that sounds with nothing. But what happens if you play a D shape right there? That's a big old E chord. I like to do this thing, as long as my arthritic pinkies will let me do it. But yeah, and I probably got like 4 songs that I do that on.
Cool. Well, thank you for the. We knew you were going to teach us something.
Yeah, huh?
Well,
and
I mean,
it is a
I
great
could even
sound,
take
too.
it further. I don't have anything like this right now, but you can do a thing where you put one capo on one fret, and then two frets up. You do another capo 5, 6 like that, and you can play a drop G or whatever.
We had somebody here once who had
Paget.
one
Very
at
cute,
one at the
very
top and one at the
Mary
bottom,
Sue, yes.
and she played in the middle.
Yes.
Yep.
That
Wow.
was voodoo economics.
I need to go back and find that one in the archives.
Well, and you mentioned it's a really good strategy. The people who did it was Bet Paget
That's right.
and Mary Rocap both do real creative things with capos. If your hands are smaller, or if you have arthritis, which is all of us at some point, capos can be a really nice way. Also, if you had some kind of vocal disorder, if you had a limited
Right.
range for some reason, capos can help you match the instrument in a more pleasant way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, I've got another song. I think I did it last time I was on here, where I capo 5 out of 6 at the 7th fret. So when I play A, that's and yeah, you're approaching Leo Cocky territory there,
Or the Who. I thought he was the Who.
or the yeah, certainly.
I was hearing the birds. So,
Well, there you
it's
go.
all over the place. But, Doug, we're getting down to 8.5
Yep.
minutes or so, although we don't have a hard stop. So one, maybe 2 songs, depending on
Okay.
the song.
Let me see what I got here. All right. Here's one. Time does pass when you're having fun.
Doesn't it? But by the way, our hard stop is really 8 o'clock. So if you want to go a little over 7:30, the FCC isn't going to come shoot us.
Okay. Bob, go Kirk. This is a Kirk question. What was
Oh,
your
it's a test.
What was your first guitar?
My first guitar was a Yamaha.
Okay. You
It's my first motorcycle, too.
Wrong. I was hoping you were going to say. I was hoping you were going to say it was a Stella Harmony.
No, I'm not that old.
I am.
You picked one
Oh,
up
it's getting
used.
awkward in
I
here.
remember last time one of the times you came, you picked one up used, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you picked up a real deal on one.
Yeah. Yeah. But my first guitar was a Stella Harmony, and years later, just like 5-6 years ago, I did find another one from a friend who was like moving and downsizing and stuff like that, and I bought it from him. It was in kind of rough shape, but I cleaned it up. And it plays, and I worked with it some. Cut a new bridge for it, and it plays. So I have a lot of fun with it, and I've got a couple other guitars like that. Junker guitars that I've kind of made playable. But this is kind of a love song to my first guitar.
Oh,
Nice.
It's called Stella, or the long title is Stella Wore Black Diamonds, and I know you get that one. Oh, okay. I'm putting
markers.
Kirk on the spot here.
oh yeah, I got it.
Stella was my first, but she didn't stay around too long. At first I held her tightly and learned the secrets of her song. Then entranced by one more solid, all bright with paint and chrome, I decided that Stella should find a new home. But paint and chrome turn into dust and grime. They fade away as I think of her from time to time. Stella wore black diamonds, and though I didn't keep her long, I remember that she sang the sweetest song. I've had black ones, I've had white ones, and ones in many shades of brown. And although I love them all, they all lacked a certain sound. Then one day as I passed a shop where old things are consigned, I saw something familiar. It took me back in time. She had had a rough life, smelled of cats and cigarettes. Still I took her home, hoping to wash away regrets. Now Stella wears 2 black diamonds, and her voice is clear. Stella wears new black diamonds, and her voice is clear and strong. And she still sings the sweetest song. She still sings the sweetest song.
Nice.
Excuse me.
Black Diamond String.
Black Diamond Strings, yes. And okay, and this was a prompt song. This was a prompt song, and the prompt was Black Diamonds, and you know, thinking that other people were going. There's a Kiss song called Black Diamond. And you know, and people kind of referred to that. Some people did, and that talk about not in my wheelhouse, not in my.
Well, when you get the band together.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm envisioning pyrotechnics and lasers.
Yeah.
And face paint.
Totally.
Okay, one more. Okay, yeah. This one's called Ride a While. Life is like a train. I'll ride a while, trying to know the passing of each and every mile. Some will get off early when they get to their station. Some jump on and keep riding on way past my destination. And when we reach that stop and my journey's at its end, I'll think back to my home, wonder what happened to my friends. Life is like a train. I'll ride a while. Life is like a train, but sometimes it's like a song. I speak my truth before I get too far along. Sometimes it comes out wrong, and I'll throw down my pen. Next day, I'll pick it up, turn the page and start again. Sometimes I throw my hands up in the air, wondering if it's worth it, and does anybody care? Life is like a song. I'll ride a while. is like a song, but it's also like a train. I'll get there when I get there. Does me no good to complain. Looking out my window at the beauty all around. Thinking of those who rode before and the ones who stuck around. And when I reach my station and my journey's at its end, I hope they'll know I cared and that I'll try to be a friend. Life is like a train. Life is like a song. Life is like a train. I'll ride a while. I'll ride a while.
You have been listening to Doug Baker. Check him out at dougbakermusic.com. In the greater Greensboro area, if you are looking for someone to play his fabulous music at your event or venue, say goodbye to the camera.
Goodbye, camera.
Yes.
Music lessons too.
Oh, also, yeah, pretty daggone good music teacher.
Yeah, Kim can speak of that from semi-personal experience.